Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're getting the human operating system explained by diving into a highly necessary software update for your mind. We're going to explore a brilliant concept from Psychotech strategist Anupam Sharma, focusing on how to navigate and, honestly, how to truly thrive in the rapidly changing AI revolution. It's all about finding your ultimate competitive advantage.
So here is our installation menu for today. Navigating the AI era, the human operating system, the 5 dimensions of leadership, the 8 leadership principles, the high-performance equation, and finally, upgrading your daily habits.
All right, Section 1, Navigating the AI Era, and why technical skills are no longer enough.
We have to start with this incredibly urgent reality. Psychotech principle number 1 literally states that you cannot consistently outperform the quality of your own leadership. Think about it. Before you can lead a team, inspire an organization, or build a business, you have to master the absolute hardest assignment of all, and that is leading the person you see in the mirror. You can have all the technical brilliance in the world, but without self-leadership, your intelligence just becomes scattered, and your talent remains completely underutilized.
Here's the thing about AI. It's brilliant at generating information instantly, right? It executes repetitive tasks with unbelievable efficiency. But because of that, basic knowledge is abundant now. What the modern workplace actually values above all else are humans who can think independently, people who can manage their emotions when the Wi-Fi drops or the pressure spikes, who adapt rapidly and who take absolute ownership. Technology multiplies your capability, absolutely, but it's your internal self-leadership that actually determines your direction.
Moving on to Section 2, the human operating system, or becoming the CEO of your life. Real self-leadership is not just a fleeting burst of motivation. It's not a temporary life hack. It is your human operating system. It's the conscious ability to design, direct, and regulate your thoughts, your emotions, and your habits toward a specific purpose. Just like your smartphone absolutely needs iOS or Android to run its apps smoothly, your mind needs this invisible architecture. It ensures your potential doesn't just sit there dormant, but actually transforms into extraordinary performance.
Think of your life as an organization where you are the CEO. A company has a strategy department, right? Well, your personal equivalent is your mind. A company has an organizational culture. For you, that's your emotional state. Your habits, those are your operational systems. Your values act as your governance. Your purpose is your corporate vision. Your decisions are your investments, and your actions are your execution. If a corporate CEO lacks vision or discipline, the whole company suffers. Exactly the same applies to you. If your internal departments are weak, no external opportunity is going to save you.
Let's dive into Section 3, the 5 dimensions of leadership. This is the system architecture of self-mastery. Notice how these 5 dimensions build completely seamlessly on one another. First, you have psychological leadership. Everything starts in the mind because your underlying beliefs are actively shaping your thinking. Second is strategic leadership, converting those thoughts into real progress by focusing only on high-impact activities. Third is emotional leadership, remaining composed and turning failure into feedback when things get really tough. Fourth, behavioral leadership, because all that knowledge means absolutely nothing without consistent daily execution. And finally, purpose leadership, which provides the deep meaning that keeps your discipline strong when your motivation inevitably fades.
Now for Section 4, the 8 leadership principles, which act as the practical code base of your OS.
We call these the 8 C's. They're the daily behaviors that translate all those abstract concepts into highly tangible actions you can take right now. We start with confidence, which has to come from actual competence, not just hoping things work out. Then, calmness, a massive strategic asset when things get chaotic. Clarity to prioritize execution. Curiosity to drive innovation. Compassion, which creates real resilience instead of endless self-sabotage. Courage to act wisely even when you're terrified. Creativity for disciplined problem-solving. And finally, connectedness, reminding us that true self-leadership never isolates, it strengthens collective growth. These are the specific programs you've got to run on your system every single day.
Up next is Section 5, the high-performance equation. Time to run some diagnostics.
This equation is absolutely fascinating because it proves that leadership is not just a random collection of isolated skills, it's a fully integrated formula. You need self-awareness multiplied by purpose, emotional intelligence, strategic thinking, discipline, and consistent execution to achieve sustainable high performance. Notice the phrasing there. These are multiplied, not just added together. Every single component is absolutely required for this system to work. And here is the brutal mathematical reality of that multiplication. If your discipline drops to zero, or say your emotional regulation drops to zero, your entire performance output plummets to absolute zero. Your potential is rarely limited by pure intelligence. It's almost always limited by internal barriers like fear, a lack of consistency, or just staying in your comfort zone. Master your psychology, and I promise you, the performance follows.
Finally, Section 6, upgrading your daily habits, which is all about performing routine system maintenance.
Look, building self-leadership requires highly intentional, deliberate practice. You have to actively replace excuses with absolute ownership. You need to set your priorities before you let the world hijack your attention. That means do not look at your inbox the exact second you wake up. You must maintain emotional composure when things inevitably go wrong, seeking feedback instead of just validation. Ultimately, you are trying to build habits that are vastly stronger than temporary motivation. It's those small improvements compounded over time that create extraordinary transformation.
So to truly become the CEO of your own life, I want you to challenge yourself by asking this exact question every single morning before the chaos even starts. What is my highest value contribution today? Focus your strategic leadership right there and completely ignore the noise. Pinpoint the single most impactful thing you can do and just commit to it. Remember, you are never just standing still. Every thought you nurture and every single habit you reinforce is actively either strengthening or weakening your leadership capacity in real time. So be honest and ask yourself, which habit deserves my attention today? Where exactly is my operational system lagging? Find that weak link and fix it. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final vital diagnostic question. Before you attempt to lead a company or manage a team or conquer this whole AI revolution, you first have to master yourself. Because leadership isn't granted by a title, it's demonstrated through daily choices. So look at the day ahead of you and ask, at day's end, will I be proud of today's decisions? AI is upgrading every single day. Are you?